just talking about icks, okay? And you said you famously don't get icks.
I love famously as if it's like a world-renowned thing.
Yeah.
I think just like amongst my friends,
Yeah.
they get like the ick so much easier than I do.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like known as like kind of overlooking a lot of behavior.
A lot of icks. I feel like you can tell a lot about a man by the way that they rub their head. Do you know what I mean?
Like when they're like stressed?
Yeah, so like stressed or like has a headache or something.
Give me a demonstration.
Okay. If they, it's so specific. If they have their hand like hella tight and they go like this, like on the side of their head, it's like a very new thing that I just recognized. Every man that I've met that like does this specific move when they rub their head and their hands are too tight, kind of like clean freaks and.
You think it's indicative of a larger issue?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
You don't like type A men?
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not a dirty person, but I'm very messy. And if somebody
It sounds like something a dirty person would say. I'm kind of looking for a type A man, I think.
Are you?
Yeah, because I like want them to be clean, and I just feel like that's kind of a loophole. Like, oh, do you have OCD? Like,
That's so true.
Let's date.
It is a loophole.
Yeah, like I'm only wanting to date a man with OCD. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. I feel like my perfect man, and I don't know if this exists, a type A sort of very clean man who thinks my messiness is cute. And that's like something that I think I need, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to find.
Well, girls are allowed to be messy. That's the difference.
There's such a big difference between a guy being messy and a girl being messy.
Right. When a girl is messy, it's like, yeah, you were like getting dressed and like doing your makeup. When a guy is messy, it's like, what the were you doing?
No, literally like, because what the were you doing?
Yeah.
I'm allowed to eat cereal on my bed.
Yeah, because it's like kind of like cute and like.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when I go, what's your worst hookup you've ever had?
Yeah, it was one of the first few dates I'd ever been on in LA. Talked about his ex-girlfriend the whole time. Not a red flag, by the way. Why would that be? So the second date was kind of like the worst hookup because we watched Goodfellas on his couch, like very far apart, the whole movie. It's a pretty long movie.
That's a long movie.
Yeah, and then at the end he made a move. Then kind of after we hooked up, he like left for like 45 minutes to like do a drug deal. Like, it was like at the point where I was like, do I go home?
So how long ago was this? Did we still talk to him? Like, did you ever talk to him after that?
No, I literally left his apartment. It was just very like, we're not speaking again.
Did you
like,
say that to him?
No, it's
But
just like you get the, you know when like after you hook up with a man, like the kind of the way you exit his building, I'm like,
absolutely.
Message received.
That's
I didn't even
crazy.
comment, the sex was bad. Like some of the worst I ever had.
Okay.
So I'm like, you're acting really cocky for like a bad performance.
For a bad performer.
Yeah. Like it'd be one thing if you were good.
Right. Then you'd be
Then
like,
you can kind of
drug dealer, meh.
Right. There was no instance in which I would return to that apartment. Right. I don't really do that kind of like date anymore. Like, oh, come over and watch a movie. I'm like,
I don't think I've done that in a while either.
Because I'm like, buy me food.
Yeah, exactly. Please.
Like I don't need
hungry.
There's a free date. The thing is, one of my worst dates, like the guy was actually so sweet, so I actually feel mean, like being like it was such a bad date. Because it wasn't a bad date, it was just like a very odd date. And he was like, oh, come over to my apartment, and like it was like breakfast, lunchtime. So he was like, oh, let's like make waffles and like whatever. I was like, that's cute.
Oh, that's really cute.
Love that. Get there, and he's like, oh, well, there's like a little bit of a twist. We're gonna blindfold each other. I was like, what do you mean we're gonna blindfold each other? Like, I don't understand. Never been in this man's apartment, and he's wanting to blindfold me. Perfect. Also, not a red flag, by the way. So it was like the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients. Okay, one person's gonna do the wet, one person's gonna do the dry, and then someone's gonna be blindfolded for each of those. And the other person is gonna tell the person like, oh, you know, reach up to the left and like get the cinnamon or whatever. All good and fine, messy, like haha, cute. Of course, as you can assume, his move was kind of kissing me while I was blindfolded.
Oh.
Which I was just like, okay, I don't. It's like he saw it in a movie and he was like, oh, I'm gonna do that. Like 2 days later, he asked me on a third date, sends me a video that he took of me blindfolded.
What?
Yes.
You didn't know?
Didn't know. I'm
You
like,
didn't know he was
blindfolding me in your apartment,
filming
videoing
me
without me knowing, and then kissing me. And then for the third date, he was like, let's go to a drive-in movie, like I'm giving blindfold lessons. What do you mean you're giving blindfold lessons? Stop talking about the blindfold. But that being said, he was really so sweet, and I would not say a bad word about him. I have the video on my phone, because he sent it to me, so I have it.
Can we watch it?
Yeah, I miss him bad. It's too long, it's too long, it's freaking me out, it's freaking me out.
I'm literally sweating so bad. Do you have a crush on anybody right now?
Kind of. Like a crush is a lack of information. I'm like, yes, because like you don't know anything, so you make up all the good stuff, and then you get more information, and you're like, wait.
Whoa.
Yeah, like once you get information, the crush dies.
That was like life changing a little bit for me. I've never
heard
that before.
It's a lack of information. I know, it's awful.
My stomach hurts.
Then it's like I don't want to learn anything about anyone I'm sleeping with.
I also heard something recently that somebody was like, it's not a type, it's a pattern.
I saw that yesterday.
Yeah,
I sent it to one of my friends.
Do you have like a pattern?
Lately, I think my pattern is that like I date these men that like somehow I go like 4 weeks and they like haven't taken me out on a date. We might hang out during the day, but it's always like at their apartment. And I'm like, why is no one like taking me out to dinner? I deserve to be taken to dinner.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
So the current guy I was like kind of dating, I'm just like, well, I'm actually not talking to you because like no one should be able to go 4 weeks without taking me out.
Yeah,
like, that's
crazy.
not nice. I do think I am oversharing right now.
Well, that's the point.
Perfect.
It's a manipulation tactic for me.
Yeah.
People feel a little bit more comfortable in bed. That's why I like lure them in, and then they overshare and get embarrassed, and then I get to go, ha.
So my type or pattern is like a pen pal that doesn't actually take me out on dates. My friend told me he was like, you need to stop giving people information that they deserve to learn in person. And I was like, that's really helpful.
I seem to have a pattern of attracting men that are unemployed, homeless, short. I'm like a shelter.
And you're so sweet.
Thank you. And I take them in, I rehabilitate them, and I adopt them out. I don't know, that's just like been my thing, like unemployed homeless men.
Yeah. Do you think you like fixing men?
I do.
I also do hold true to the fact that like every man I've dated, I don't like things that they've done to me, but I all think they're like decent people.
Have you ever like kicked anybody out of your apartment?
In college, yeah.
Can you show me how it was done?
Well, you would have to get on top of me.
Okay.
So this is like in a twin XL freshman year.
Of course.
So you have to be on top of me.
Like this?
Like in between my legs.
Oh yeah, because I'm a boy.
Yeah. Okay, so hold
I'm
a
getting this
beer.
character.
Hold a beer in this hand.
Wait, he had a beer in his hand?
I think so.
This is crazy.
Okay. You have to go. You have to go. Please go. Please, I don't, just get out. Please go. Sorry. And then you have to call me a prude.
You're a prude.
Oh God, wait, I'm feeling really bad for my younger self. That was really mean of him, wasn't it?
Yes!